How can you make your home worth more money? We all love money, right? Today, we're gonna talk about exactly that. Eva here with Next Door Agents. Thank you for watching my videos. Like and subscribe down below if you want to get notified, because we make a new video every single week all about Warrensburg and Whiteman Air Force Base. And if you have any questions, my contact information is right below. I got a call from someone yesterday from Texas, which is a giant state, and they were moving to Warrensburg and they wanted to know what's the best movie theater. And I told them, go to Lee Summit because they have those reclining seats and you can order drinks. Yes. Anyway, I digress. If you want something, if you want to know about Warrensburg, if you want to know about Whiteman Air Force Base, reach out, send me a text. I love talking to people. Today, we are talking about home improvement, or 10 easy things, or some not so easy things that you can do yourself to really raise the value of your home. So we're just gonna jump right in. These are in order, and you're gonna wanna stick around for number one because it is importante. I'm sorry. Okay, we're gonna start with number 10. Number 10 is actually, it's super simple and it doesn't cost you anything but time. It's having a clean and decluttered home. Now, I know that sounds easy and can sometimes be really difficult, but the number one thing that a seller can do is they can go in and make sure that their house is clean and it's not full of clutter. You know, just shoes laying around, toys laying around everywhere. And I do understand because I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, so I get that toys just take over your house. But if you're trying to sell your house, one of the most important things is that someone can walk in and almost picture themselves living in it. So you kind of want to take away as much clutter as possible. Clutter really makes home buyers uncomfortable when they walk into a house. Another thing that makes them uncomfortable are bad smells. So if you have that adorable, wonderful elderly cat who just pees all over the carpets, make sure you get them steam cleaned before you sell your house. So then when your buyers walk in, it just smells great. We're gonna move on to number 9, and that is curb appeal. So what does your house look like from the front? So when someone pulls up for the first time, what's their impression? Now, this doesn't mean that you have to do some amazing expensive landscaping. This can just mean that your grass is mowed, or if you don't have grass, that you have beautifully arranged rocks or a wonderful wildflower garden, just so that it looks intentionally kept that way. If your bushes are trimmed, if your trees are nicely taken care of, there's no branches down at the bottom. Basically, all that you can do to make it look appealing and make someone want to live there. And this can be as simple as maybe painting your front porch steps, or adding some flowers, or fertilizing your grass, or mowing it, or just adding any small touches can really make a giant difference in curb appeal and actually really raise the property value of your house, which is just crazy. But curb appeal makes a really big impact on the price tag of your home. Another improvement that can really hold equal value to what you put into it are privacy fences. So a really nice aluminum or steel or vinyl privacy fence around the yard can make all the difference, because a buyer going into it wants to kind of imagine themselves in their own little oasis away from the prying eyes of their neighbors. Or what if they just want to walk around naked all the time? I don't know. Anyway, privacy fences are a big plus. So number 8 is a big one. It comes with a little bit of a price tag, but it makes a giant difference, and that's updated flooring. So basically going from that 1970s shag rug to LVP, which is luxury vinyl plank, or engineered hardwood, or hardwood, all of these things are really going to add value to your home and also really modernize it. So to break down the different types of flooring, I'll start with the lifespan. So hardwood floors are gonna last, if you take care of them, between 30 to 100 years. Long time, but they come with a price tag to match it. If you go down to engineered hardwood, it's gonna last about 20 to 60 years. So also a very, very long time. And then down to LVP, luxury vinyl plank, you're looking at between 10 to 20 years. Now I will say in there with LVP, luxury vinyl plank, it looks very, very similar to engineered hardwood. And hardwood, one of the big differences, it's 100% waterproof. That's what I have in my own house. Now, I love me some hardwood, love it. But I also have a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and 2 6-year-olds running around, spilling their milk, spilling their applesauce, spilling their cereal, all over the floors. So if I didn't have something that was super duper waterproof, we would be in trouble. So if you have kids, you may wanna look at something that's more cost effective and more damage proof. So LVP might be the way to go. Let's talk price, because there is a giant difference between hardwood and LVP. There is a lot in between there. So hardwood, it's gonna last 30 to 100 years if you take care of it. So a long time, but the price tag is gonna reflect that. So you're gonna pay between $8 to $20 per square foot. So if you have a big house, you have a big price tag. Moving over to engineered hardwood, which doesn't last quite as long, but is still gorgeous, you're looking at between $5 and $15. So still chunky price tag there. If you go over to luxury vinyl planking, which is also 100% waterproof, but doesn't last as long, so it's only between 10 to 20 years, you're looking at between $1.50 to $6 per square foot. That is a giant difference. So when you're going in and thinking about redoing your floors, how long are you gonna live there? Are you gonna sell anytime soon? Do you have kids? Do you have 6 St. Bernards? You know, you really wanna think about those things before you put floors in. Moving on to number 7. Number 7 is awesome because it's not gonna cost you very much money and it's gonna make a giant difference. Number 7 is updating your fixtures. Now, what do I mean by fixtures? I'm talking about things as simple as light switches. It's something that in the real estate world, we like to call death of 1,000 paper cuts, where you go in and there's all these teeny tiny small things that are kind of just off and then they just all add up to a big thing and it's just overwhelming. So one way to keep that from happening is go into your house, pay $100 in fixtures and switch out all of your like manila yellow off-white light switch fixtures to something like copper or brass or stainless steel, just something with a little more modern edge. Oh my gosh, it makes such a difference. You have no idea. I've done this in my entire house. I switched out all of my plugs and fixtures to be copper, and it's a little thing, but it just looks so classy and modern. So things like doorknobs, outlet covers, vent covers, pulls on cabinets, things like that can make such a big difference and really bring a kitchen or an entryway from like 1970s to 1980s up into the modern world, and it's all by changing out little things like fixtures. Also like light fixtures in bathrooms. You go in and you see those old like 1970, I call them the booby light fixtures because they kind of look like that. But just taking those out and putting something in a little more modern will cost you about $45, and it instantly changes the feel of a room. So updating fixtures, easy thing you can do, big impact. So number 6 can be a little more pricey, but it definitely holds its value and it's something very desirable by buyers, and that's updating the plumbing and electrical. So if you have an older house and you have knob and tube wiring, that's definitely something that's gonna flag on a home inspection. No one wants to deal with that. If you have old, rusty, leaking pipes, you're gonna end up with issues in your walls, with your drainage, with your toilets. Just having a plumber come in and switch out all those old pipes can be a little bit time consuming and a little bit costly, but when you go to sell it, you can then say, I've updated all the electrical, I've updated all the plumbing. A buyer's really going to appreciate that and then pay for it because it's not something then they're gonna have to deal with themselves. Also, there is nothing worse than going to take a shower and not having any hot water pressure, because that's just horrible. That sucks. So make sure you have a really big hot water heater because everyone appreciates that. So number 5 is actually something that you can do to really upgrade your home for free, possibly. So here in Johnson County, Missouri, we use Evergy for our energy. It's our energy company. And they have a program where you can get a free smart thermostat. And they'll even come and install it for you for free. I think the options are Google Nest and then the ecobee smart thermostat. We got the ecobee smart thermostat for free. And it's awesome. It basically sets different temperatures for different rooms. It checks for cold spots. So you can really program it so your house is a certain temperature at night versus during the day. And it really helps you save energy and save on your energy bill. And it's all free and it looks really cool. And you can talk to it and all those like fun things. And it has voice recording and voice controls and all sorts of cool stuff. But anyway, I digress. You can basically get this and upgrade it in your house for free. So check out the programs around you, and if you're moving here, and maybe you can get a free thermostat. Number 4 is just collect and maintain your records on things that you've done on your house. So it's actually kind of simple. Instead of just getting your AC serviced and throwing away that invoice or that maintenance record, just keep a stack of them. Make sure that you get your AC serviced every year. Make sure you get your furnace serviced. Make sure that then you take those things from the person who came and did that and keep them in a file someplace. If you get your roof redone, make sure you keep that receipt, keep that invoice, keep a record of all of the different maintenance that you've done on your house. If you get an irrigation system, make sure you keep that. And that way, when a buyer comes in to purchase your house, you literally can just make copies of all those things, put them in a file, plop them on the counter, and been like, I've serviced my AC unit every single year for the past 10 years. I've serviced my furnace every single year for the past 10 years. I've gotten my house sprayed for termites and pests and spiders twice a year for the last 10 years. And it basically really gives a buyer this awesome sense of how well maintained your house is. And it gives them that sense of security, knowing that when they purchase it, they're not gonna have any problems. And buyers will pay for that sense of security. And it's really just as easy as just taking the maintenance record and popping it in a file. Moving on to number 3. And this one is something you can do yourself. It's just gonna take a little sweat, little elbow grease, and that is painting the interior of your house. So, we all have seen those horror stories on the internet or pictures of the worst homes that people have seen, and a lot of it usually has to do with decor inside the house, specifically the colors of the rooms. Like you walk into a room and it's like neon green with trim that's bright pink, and for most people that's a little much on the eyeballs. So a can of paint can do wonders. Just taking a weekend and going room by room and redoing the paint on the walls, but not just that, repaint your trim. If you have a bunch of trim around the windows that's looking cracked, just kind of sand it down and repaint it. Really refreshing the paint in a room to a neutral color if you're gonna sell it. I wouldn't put like bright green on a wall if you're thinking about selling your home in the next year or two. But that can make such a difference for a buyer coming in because it looks clean, it looks fresh. Another thing that can make a giant difference is painting your doors. So that's one thing that we did in our house because we kind of just had an ugly door inside on all of our bedroom doors. They were just kind of ugly. They were a weird reddish gold color. They were just cheap doors. Slap a coat of paint on them and all of a sudden the whole house looks so much more modern. And all it took was a couple weekends and $60 worth of paint. So a little bit of paint and a little bit of work on the inside of a house can go a long way. Moving on to number 2, and this one is a little more expensive, but it's updating the exterior of your home. So repainting it. If you have a home that's stuck in the 70s and has, brown on brown on brown, and it just looks outdated, it's amazing what a coat of paint on the outside of a house can do to really modernize the house. Go shades of gray, shades of blue, even shades of brown properly done, but taking it from a 1970s palette up to a modern palette can really increase your curb appeal and really bring younger buyers to your home. Another thing that you can do is actually update your roof, and this can usually be done for free filing an insurance claim, especially in Missouri because we have lots of hail issues. So getting a new roof on your house, if you haven't done that in the last 10 or 20 years, can make a big difference in the value of your house. We are down to number one. Drum roll! The number one thing that you can do to update your house so that you get more money and people want to buy it, kitchens and bathrooms. Kitchens and bathrooms sell a home. I mean, ask any wife who's ever walked into a master bedroom and there's no soaking tub or there's only one sink, it's not a double vanity, and she turns to her husband or her wife or her partner and says, okay, there's enough space for my stuff, where are you gonna put your stuff? Kitchens and bathrooms sell a home. It just is what it is. So, if you have an outdated bathroom and you can take some money and time and go in and switch out the toilet, add a tub, update the shower, add a new vanity, add a double vanity, increase your closet size, all of these things will really, really make your home more appealing. And the same goes for a kitchen. If you walk into a kitchen and there's not a lot of counter space, if there's no cabinet space, if all the appliances are old, one big thing you can do is update your kitchen. Because one of the first things that a buyer sees when they walk into a home, they'll see the living room, they'll kind of look at the doors, the first thing they're gonna see is that kitchen. So if you have an updated kitchen that is beautifully painted, and it has stainless steel appliances, boom, you instantly got them right there. Updated kitchens and updated bathrooms hold value. People love them. I mean, a room is a room is a room. You go in, you paint a room, it looks pretty, whatever. You walk into a bathroom and you see this giant soaking tub and all you can think about is chucking in a bath bomb and then getting in, boom, you've sold your house. So the number one thing that you can do to really bring buyers and add equity to your house, you can update your kitchens, you can update your bathrooms. There you go. That's my video. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Make sure that you like and subscribe down below because I make a new video every single week all about Warrensburg life and Whiteman Air Force Base, and you'll want to get notified. And my contact info is right down below. So if you're watching this video and you're like, I really want to ask Eva this question about something, just reach out, text me. I love talking to people. I love talking to people about Warrensburg and about buying and selling homes. It's kind of my thing. It's my favorite thing. So reach out. I love talking to you. Bye.